The first payment method I'm going to create is one called cash. So let's go to the name box and type in a descriptive name for this payment method. Cash expenses. The one thing to point out here is the name here is what is actually going to appear in the expense screen when you go to select a payment method. So you want to make sure it's descriptive. You can choose to enter in a description. This is only for administrative purposes. And under the payment type drop-down list, you want to select what type of payment type should be associated with this payment method. In this case, you want to select cash. We want to leave it as is active because we want it to show up on the expense screen. And for is reimbursable, we're going to want to check that since cash expenses are reimbursable to users. Next, we'll click on Save, Save in New. The second payment method we'll create is a payment method for company credit cards. In the name box, I want to type in a descriptive name for the payment method for Paul Jackson's American Express. I'm going to type in Paul J. Amex. This way I can easily say that Paul's Amex is being selected as a payment method when I'm using the expense screen. For description, I can put a more detailed description. Paul's issued Amex. Under payment type, I want to select credit card company. Credit card company is a special payment type which later on as an administrator, when you send transactions over to QuickBooks, Method Expense Reports is smart enough to say that credit card company payment types should go over as credit card charges. Next, we do not want to check is reimbursable since these purchases were made on a company credit card. However, we're going to want to check the is assigned to user checkbox and select the appropriate user that this credit card is issued to. So in this case, it's Paul Jackson. Why do we want to do this? Well, if you don't do this, this Paul J. Amex will appear on everyone's screen when they go to use the expense screen. We only want this to be available for Paul Jackson, so we want to select him as the user that this is assigned to. We also want to choose the credit card account associated with this. So if I click on the drop-down list, we'll see all the available credit cards, but there's none here for Paul Jackson's American Express. So what we'll do is click on Add New. The new credit card window will appear, and I'm going to type in a name for this credit card, Paul Jackson. I'm going to choose the sub-account. In this case, it's a sub-account of American Express. I'm going to click on Save and New. I now click on the credit card account drop-down list and see American Express Paul Jackson. This credit card has also been added into QuickBooks. I can click on Save, Save and New. The next payment method I want to add in is a personal credit card. So I'm going to go to the name box. I'm going to type in John C. Visa. In the description box, I'm going to type in John's personal credit card. Payment type, it's pretty easy, credit card personal. I'm going to choose that it is reimbursable in this case, and I'm also going to select that it is assigned to a user, and in this case it's John C. Last step, click on Save, Save and New. The next payment method we're going to enter in is a vehicle for the company. So it's a vehicle that's been issued by the company for use by an employee. So we're going to put in Paul J. GMC Safari. For payment type, I'm going to choose vehicle company. We're not going to choose the is reimbursable checkbox, but we are going to choose is assigned to user, and again choose Paul. Now, why we would choose vehicle company is if we're tracking mileage and we want to see that as a separate type of payment type, we'll select vehicle company. So we'll click on Save, Save and New. And last but not least, we want to be able to enter in a personal vehicle for John C. John C's Viper. And we can put in a longer description if you want. John's personal Viper. Payment type, we'll put personal, and we want to make sure it is reimbursable since it's an employee's vehicle. We want to assign it to a user, choose John C, click save, save menu.